Hello, it is Jessica here with day 64 of my 100-day meditation journey. I meditated earlier this morning, but I'm just getting to the video later in the evening. And I started watching a course, an online course that I got some time ago, but never started watching, by Gregg Braden. I have several Hay House courses, and if you haven't checked out Hay House but are interested in, self-discovery, self-care, going within, meditation, all that kind of good stuff, and more, it's a great resource. But and one of their authors is a guy named Gregg Braden, scientist by trade, who has, I don't know all of his whole story. Anyways, this program of his covers lots of things, and I'm not even going to go into it. But one thing he was talking about in one of the videos I watched today was about nature and how the nature of the universe. And he was quoting somebody else, and I'm not going to get anywhere close, but I'll at least paraphrase. And it was, nature provides you with enough for what you need. So nature by nature doesn't give you way more than you need. It only gives you that which you need to do what it is that you're doing, to function. And I'm not going to be as eloquent about explaining that as he is, and I'm not going to try. But you can check out his course or his books if you want. Anywho, so I was thinking about that, and especially in relationship to money, because I think in our society, at least, we have this habit now of seeking more and more and more. And there's a lot of us who have way more than we need. And that, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying I don't think that's a natural thing. I don't think that if we go with the flow, if we go within, that's necessarily the outcome. And I don't think, if you're really focused on being authentic and serving the world, that's necessarily the outcome that you want. But I was thinking about that in relationship to me personally, but just in general as we think about money, and thinking about that in correlation with something that Kyle Cease has been talking about. Instead of asking, what can I get or what should I do, the question should be, what does the universe want from me? Or what does the universe need from me? So rather than what's my purpose, what am I supposed to do, how can I get things, it's what is trying to come through me? What is the universe trying to do through me? So rather than this self-centered, and I don't mean that in a necessarily negative way, but just this separate, that I am a separate being trying to get, but understanding our role as a function of the universe, and that I need to be fulfilling my role to help in the well functioning of the whole. And I think in correlation with this thing from Gregg Braden is, like, if you're following what it is you're supposed to be doing, you'll always be given enough of what you need to do what it is you're meant to do. And that includes everything, not just money, but time, resources, support, creativity, ideas, whatever it is that you need to complete whatever is trying to come through you will be given to you. It will show up, it will arrive. Now we have to be aware and paying attention, and be able to accept those things when they come into our lives. But the object then is not amassing money or objects in order to amass money or objects, but that if we're following our purpose, or following what it is we're being asked to do, the things that we need will be there. And those things that we have been taught by society to worry about, money in particular, we make that our goal. But when you say, what if you follow that to the end, what do you want money for? People don't just want money to have money, just to roll around on it in their bed. I mean, you may do that, but like, that's not you want it for freedom. You want it because you want to travel. You want it because you want to retire early. You want it. Money isn't the end goal. So you only need as much as you need to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. So if you're trying to accomplish something that doesn't require tons and tons of cash to get through, that isn't necessarily going to come your way, and you don't need to ask for it. And one exercise we went through with Kyle Cease too was to say, what is it you would need to make a month to feel comfortable, just to have your needs met, and to be able to pay all your bills, to buy your food, to have a little maybe extra fun money or whatever. But what would it take for you to just be comfortable? And most people's answers was quite a bit less than what they were striving for or trying to achieve. He gives the extreme example of a client he had that wasn't satisfied unless he was making $1 million a month. So if it was $990,000 a month, he felt like a failure. And through working with Kyle, he's like, well, how much do you actually need to survive for a month? And obviously it was way less than that. And by kind of releasing all this kind of stress and pushing and force, he was able to let go of, and find different paths, and with ease, and move more into his body and his heart, and not stress and strain and worry and fear and all that stuff. So, and I know that's kind of all over the place, but I'm still kind of allowing this to kind of sink in with me. And I'm really letting go of this idea that I've got to have this giant bank account to do what it is that I want to do. I really don't think that I do need it. And I think I've been provided enough money to do what I've been doing so far. But I think the more I'm stepping into my authenticity, more I'm stepping and taking risks, taking leaps, doing those things that my heart says to do, that my mind says, you're crazy, lady, but doing it anyways. If there's money needed to accomplish that, whether it's, continuing to pay my rent, or putting on an event, or traveling somewhere, that the money will show up, the resources will show up, the people that I need will show up. So what I need to accomplish what it is I'm trying to do, as long as I'm coming from my heart, coming from the body, I will be, that stuff will come into my life, and no more, because I don't need it. So to think that I've got to charge some exorbitant amount for my services is kind of a waste, and prevents those people from using my services that could really use them, but maybe don't have that much cash. So if I can make myself more accessible, I'm going to be helping more people, and the idea of meeting what I came up with as my monthly minimum is so much more easy, and so much more unstressful than trying to think that I've got to have these $10,000 programs, or I've got to have some package that's $5,000 a person, or whatever. That I don't need to have a giant bank account. I just want to be comfortable so I can do what it is that I want to do, because that's the end result for me. I would just want to do what I want to do. If there's no money and I'm still able to do what I want to do, that's fine. If there's a ton of money and that's enabling me to do something huge and support a lot of people around the world, then that's what I'll use that for. so that any money that I accumulate over what I need is just going right back into serving people anyway. So I'm not just going to sit there and hoard it. So I don't know, I don't know if this is helpful for others as well, kind of a different spin on looking at things, especially those of you out there who are also entrepreneurs. I just realized this is becoming a really long video, but I'm still kind of interested in this topic, and have, money is a big deal for people. It can be a big deal. It can be a big block, a big limitation, a big story that gets in our way of actually making money, of actually being comfortable, of actually doing what it is that we want to do. And so I think it's important to kind of consider these things. And one more point around money, or anything in general, is that Kyle talks about a lot, is if you think you have to have it, you've got to be okay with never having it or it all going away. So specifically with money, like be okay with going broke. And this is probably a conversation for another day, but because a lot of people will freak out at that. I don't want to be okay with going broke. But then you're always in resistance, and that's not an energy that's going to help you create abundance. So if I'm okay with going broke, then that stress is off of me. If I'm in resistance to going broke, often the universe will create that situation for me to let me know, this is from Kyle, he says this, to let me know that I'm still okay. That even if I go broke, I'm still okay. So if you think you can't live without being in a relationship, often the universe is going to take that away to let you know that you're still going to be okay, even if you're not in a relationship. And this could go on for anything you want to talk about, but there's a lot of stuff in there. I'm rambling now, but it's kind of just where my brain is and what I've been thinking about today with the meditation and working with Kyle and watching this program with Gregg Braden. So anyways, kind of a lengthy day 64 video, but I hope there was something in there for you, and I will see you tomorrow for day 65.